In any technology, it's always really funded by those early adopters, those who like the coolest, the latest, who really want to test the edges of society, be the pioneers. They may or may not have been the creators, but they'll be the first to put their money down to support the idea so it can become mainstream. Now, we've seen that with different Apple products. We've seen that with the Tesla products. We said, there's a lot of products out there where people will wait in line to be the first, to be proud, to show it off, to essentially we're the brand of a company that they've paid for. It's beyond free advertising. And it's always been very interesting to me how society gets so manipulated to work very, very hard to give their money back to corporate welfare. But in this case, I want to look at Gmail. Gmail has offered to help us out, make it easier. This came out 3 hours ago. Scam emails be gone. Gmail's newest feature changes everything. This was on the Microsoft News stream, and this is by, I pronounce that, I'm sorry, I can't see if that's an R or not, but I think it's Momo Tabari. And let me just open this up. Gmail's latest feature is one that we've all been waiting for. The official email address domains will process a blue check mark, much like Twitter, to confirm their authenticity. While this isn't going to stop every scam from doing damage to helpless users, it could be a great blow against suspicious emails. Google's initiatives for a safer emailing space started in 2021 with the brand indicators for message identification, BIMI, and asked businesses to upload a profile picture depicting their brand logo. Now, those brands that underwent this extensive authentication process will begin to see a blue check mark next to their name. Okay, but what's interesting is this is all driven by AI. Yesterday, we talked about the concept of social governance score. What if these big companies that we just talked about today on the manifesto are not the top companies that have bought into this? Then they're going to shut off those companies. No blue check mark for you, or nobody can see you. They'll just move your link altogether. Maybe it's not even DNS. Maybe you don't even exist. This level of control has gotten out of hand. And I look at this because my mother and I just got new phones, and she was complaining that her phone was deleting messages. And, sometimes with the technology, you just may not know how to use it. So I went over with her phone and I sent her a message, and she said, just watch this. It came into her phone and it swiped itself on out, and she couldn't see it. And I had used a blacklisted keyword in that. And so we knew that it was going to be monitored. But Android phone decided what she could see, what she could not see, and who she could talk to. Now, this is something that we've heard that Facebook had been doing, right? We also had heard that Twitter had been doing it, throttling what you can see and what you can't see. But what if it's your own child or your parent? They're already making the decisions for you. But what was interesting, I'm talking about a Gmail message to Gmail message on an Android phone. And you could say, well, maybe it got caught up in spam. It was not in spam. It was gone. I could go to my laptop and see that, in fact, I had sent her a message, and she could go to her laptop and see that it had been received. But on her phone, it had been deleted. But one step further is she said, look at my messages. So we were talking about the Gmail system. Now we're going to talk about text messages. She said, send me a text and use that same keyword. Right in front of my eyes, the text came into her phone and got erased. It just swiped on out, like a swipe right. It was gone. So Android is determining what keywords are allowed and what are not allowed, who you can talk to, who you cannot talk to, and what information is being spread. So is this a feature that we want? Who gets a blue check mark? Who can be seen? Who has a social governance score that's acceptable in this society? Convenience isn't the solution. There's a lot of things in society that are convenient. How much is enough? So there's been a lot of warning about ChatGPT. It's an artificial intelligence chatbot developed by OpenAI. OpenAI as an organization was taken over, and now it's been released as of November 2022. It's built on top of the OpenAI GPT 3.5 and GPT-4 foundational language models. And it's been taken over. It's now controlled already. By the point of release, it would already been controlled. This news also came out. It was just 2 days ago. The godfather of AI quit Google. Now, we've already seen 2 other people before this have very public exits from the Google AI team. And yet here, the person known as the godfather, Geoffrey Hinton, saying he now regrets his role creating technology that poses a threat to humanity. So this is one person. We don't know if this article is true or not. But if we look at the reality, there is some concern there. The full story is here if you want to get a broader picture on what particularly he's worried about. But he does mention that he's worried the technology will disseminate false information and eliminate jobs. Have we not seen a dissemination of false information, an overrun of bots taking over the masses, as we saw on Twitter, pre-Twitter, old Twitter? Hinton said he quit so he could warn about the risks of AI without worrying about the impact to Google. So under this umbrella, he couldn't speak out. But now he believes he can. What about Musk? Musk has vehemently warned. He was one of the 4 founders and creators of OpenAI. He's now looking at coming up with another system to compete against it. Elon Musk warns of benign dependency on AI, dangerous to civilization. And that's just the dependency. That's not when they become sentient. Well, what about this? This is interesting. I was at the Whole Foods in Cupertino yesterday, and did you know that you could slide a chip under your skin in order to pay for your food? A new way to pay at Whole Foods, scan your palm. But what's interesting is I just mentioned I was there yesterday. Look at the date on this article, and we'd already forgotten. Wednesday, April 21st of 2021. Amazon will let customers at some Whole Foods stores pay with a simple wave of their hands. In order to wave your hand, there has to be something already surgically implanted in there. Now, for a while, this took off. That was in the news cycles, and then it became quiet. And we're going to see another surge of this cyborg reality. The company announced Wednesday it is bringing palm scanners to one of its Whole Foods stores in Seattle, with the plans to roll out the new payment system to 8 stores in Seattle area in the coming months. Customers will hold their hands above the scanner for a contact-free payment method. It's too hard to pull out cash. Well, for many people, sadly, it is, and that's going away, along with your freedom. But it's too hard to pull out that credit card or even use an Apple Pay attached onto your phone. There goes your freedom as tied to your own ESG score, right here in Cupertino, California. And remember, during the lockdowns, there was an immense control over our phones. And many articles came up, with the different problems, but this is the one I wanted to highlight. During the pandemic, CDC tracked 20+ million US phones to monitor the lockdown compliance. They were monitoring phones. And we knew they were monitoring for a variety of reasons. Every time I left the county, my phone that was turned off would turn on and announce, "Welcome to whatever new county." Normally it doesn't do that, not even when it's on. And yet it would let me know that it was watching. It would turn the phone on to do that. Also, during that period of time, I was down on a series of military bases. And on one of the military bases, my Android phone went into my pictures that I do not use Google Pictures. I do not participate in any of those programs, but went into my own gallery, took pictures that should not have been posted publicly and posted them publicly as an example of success using their Google Pictures platform. And I did a whole screenshot and a video article on that. They not only take what they want, they control what we see. So as we go back here, this is just another reason to find another platform. They're going to use this to monitor who you can talk to, who you can hear to, what you can disseminate. And the companies that they don't want around will be blacklisted and disappeared. They will disappear. It won't even be a DNS. They just won't exist on the internet that we all are tied into. Have a blessed day.